sir. What up, dog? What up, Marcus?
Yo,
What's up, dude?
what up, Eddie? I'm good, man.
Chilling, chilling.
melting here, man. So wish 9, Marcus. What's going on?
More people start pulling in later in. What do we got going on here?
50-minute closure in Europe.
20 minutes for the hourly closure. So I'm bullish here. Oh damn, the chart shifted.
The trend line.
A higher time frame, we're still bearish. We're still underneath this level here.
Yo, mate. Alright, 15-minute closing in 1 minute. Minute closed, opened up. Next 15 minutes, opened up the bottom week pass. Well, we're so bullish, but the thing is the 4 hour opened higher than what it looks like right now. It's still below the opening of the 4 hour. Kiki. Where the fuck is 80? Where did 80 go, man? Fuck up just bridge. Yeah, what's the further? Yeah, fair enough. Good? Yeah. Got it.
All right, let's see what the beat is. Let me turn some of this shit off. Let me take a hit before I start streaming.
Hey, boy. Someone's status said, I just stopped smoking.
This is top one, not top step. But all right. So looking here at the weekly, we were on an uptrend. We bounced off this previous weekly support. We started driving up. This weekly closed without barely a top wick. The following weekly closed bearish with barely a top wick. Last week, we came up, we grabbed orders, retesting this previous weekly resistance, and we fucking dumped. We have barely any range to the downside here. Just like we barely had any range to the upside here. Could we be creating the range like we did with this weekly wick? Right? So if we grabbed orders from this high, last time we grabbed orders from that high, we drove all the way down to this level here. So now that we have a clean resistance on the weekly, this weekly candle what did it do? We gap down here, market open.
And we have 1 day to the monthly close, which is tomorrow. Friday is the 1st.
And we have no range to the downside on this monthly candle after rejecting all of these monthly highs. Are we going to see something like happen on the monthly? This is very interesting. Something like this. To then take off. This is most likely what we would see. With the impulse coming down like this, barely in your range, we would probably see no top wick on the monthly for a little while, at least for the rest of the week. Grab orders down. This week will probably close something like this. Next week, we get something like this. Forming some support here at the monthly, and then we can get a drive to all-time highs. Because this is a lot of liquidity. That's a lot of liquidity. And we're finally pushing down to the flip of the monthly on the last day. Let's see what we can do here. If we are going to continue down like we're thinking, where are we going to likely grab orders from before coming back up? We can likely grab orders from these levels here for somewhere maybe here. Maybe at these lows down here. I would say like the middle of these two levels.
At the monthly bottom week.
Does that align with the monthly bottom wick? Oh. Yeah, if we take out this monthly bottom wick, we're probably going to see like a push down into somewhere here. So I would like to be in the sell before we reach the monthly bottom wick. So that way by the time we hit the monthly bottom wick, I'm break even. So like I would like to take sells anywhere up here. Sells re-break of the low. But once we get down to this level, it's tough. Because this level's strong as a motherfucker. But if this is the failed to bounce, we're most likely going to see a sweep at least of the current weekly lows again. Very interesting what's going on. Let's see if we can break some highs and then break some lows, or start closing below.
What if the monthly just breaks the bottom week to get into the sellers and retraces back up to close bullish? Because there's 1 day left and it's in the middle of the week, at the end of the week.
That means that we would have to have some crazy volume between now and the next and the closure, which is good for us. We have 260 pips.
We have
The monthly low is 360 pips away. I have seen that before too.
what red folders do we have for the rest of the week?
What was that?
What red folders do we have for the rest of the week?
You have NFP tomorrow? Or not NFP? Am I at 2? Oh yeah, we do have NFP. No. Non-farm employment change. FOMC. Maybe price just hovers until then to see what actually happens. Are we gonna lower the rates or what? It would make sense for gold to drop, boom, 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 start hovering around some good areas for buys, and then when FOMC drops, that Powell says, "Psych, we're not lowering shit." People start buying gold off these levels down here. That would be interesting.
And then price drops 1,000, 2,000 pips.
What do I think about the Nasdaq? I trade the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is just continually making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We gapped up on this weekly. We came back, we grabbed orders, and we continued to new highs. Gapped up on this current weekly, came back, grabbed orders, broke highs again, and we're back down hovering on the weekly open here. If we look at the monthly on the Nasdaq, this monthly is just extremely fucking bullish. We might grab a bottom wick before flipping bullish on the next monthly. But we don't even need much of a bottom wick. We barely have one here. We barely have one here. So we don't necessarily need much of a bottom wick to continue pushing. I mean, this is going to be the first bearish weekly on the Nasdaq. Maybe we could see some resistance forming here. But even then, we have all this range that it can drive down while still maintaining our bullish sentiment. You can get, as long as we respect this level here and don't close below, we should see price form support here and then drive back up if we are starting to see some sort of resistance here. But I mean, not really. I'm still bullish on the Nasdaq. If we are to get a retracement, I don't think it'll be past these levels here. It's just kind of hard to trade the Nasdaq. You kind of have to buy only and just wait. Like last week, taking a sell, I mean, maybe a sell here wasn't bad. Maybe a sell here on the breakout wasn't bad. But the best buys were just boom, boom, took off. Even buys off this level, any wick entry off this level gave you 200 pips. Any wick entry. Even if you would have taken one here, been in 60 pips of drawdown, it would have still ran for 170. Buys are much cleaner on the Nasdaq, which makes me think that gold is going to continue coming down. Oop, not GC. Closure above on the 4 hour, doji, bottom wick, flip bullish. This is the celery play on the 4 hour. The idea we were looking for all day. Is it finally going to happen during Asian session? That's a clean setup here, but we're still below all these levels here. That would give us 12 pips to those highs. Yeah, I went through gold. So in order for sells to be valid, usually you want to fake out where price looks like it's going to start to come up, fakes out, fakes out some buyers here, taking the rebreak of the high, the breakout buyers, and then price drove back down. But around 12 o'clock, we came back to VWAP here, grabbed more orders, and took off again. And we took off again. So let's get a closure above or below the range on the lower time frames. Give me 1 second.
Hourly open. Just got the hourly open. What up, Mariano? What up, Isaac? Anyway, the previous hourly, according to me, just closed and seems like indecision. And my 4 hours closing with this 1 hour close. So according to me, I'd rather wait for the 4 hour close. Then the next 4 hour open if it opens with a bottom wick, then possibilities of buys should be greater. That's according to me. Let's see. Seems like there's some volume pushing up. Broke those levels that Eddie had marked. The fuck are you?
What the hell?
Yeah, Isaac taking over. Because the hourly just opened and we have a 5-minute close in 2 minutes.
Hourly barely has any bottom wick here.
Barely. Could it be the 4-hour close within this hour? Came up, it broke those levels. Now it's hovering there. Yo, wait, the Twitch and the YouTube hear me?
Yeah, everybody can hear you.
Shit. Yeah, boy.
See, old me would be taking a rebreak of the high here. That could be a possibility.
Or the 5-minute bottom wick.
My breakouts haven't been playing out lately like they normally used to. So I've been not taking them and then just taking the continuation afterwards. But just before Trump got in, markets would break a high and it would just keep going, or it would break a low and it would just keep going, and things have been a little more indecisive under Trump. The breakouts have been more fake outs than not. This is an old entry I would be attempting to take regardless of this no bottom wick.
And stops wouldn't be like below the previous one now.
Yeah, I would have probably hard stops all the way down here if it was like a hard dump, but I would probably manage somewhere here. If price starts coming down like this, forming structure on the way down, and then we're getting the same buy setup here as a sell setup down here, I'll just move my stops up and call it. But sometimes if it just like this candle, if we get that same candle the opposite way, I might leave my stops a little bit lower because that might just be another liquidity grab before coming back up to grab a bottom wick for that hourly, because this is a risky trade. but I did have like almost a 90% win rate with that. But then like it went from fast from like a 90% win rate to like 0%, like fast. As soon as Trump got elected, I noticed immediately I was losing, and I was like, oh, I can actually start taking sells where I was looking for buys previously as the market starts to shift.
Switch it up.
But like taking breakout buys under Biden, that shit was easy. But now under Trump, it's been difficult. Like, look at these weeklies. These weeklies under Biden, the breakouts all hit. Breakouts all hit. But these weeklies here, taking breakouts, you have to time it so correctly, because if not, you might be getting caught in a reversal. Wow, look at how bullish this shit was before Trump came in.
Did you hear me? Is my mic on?
Isaac, yeah, your mic is on.
Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, see, that might have activated me and then don't.
Yeah, I broke it.
Yeah. Our hourly flips bearish. What's our 5-minute looking like?
Trump moving like this is on a chessboard.
Yeah, I want to get out of the zone.
Seems like a lot of indecision there.
Yeah. This candle, not real.
No, why is it there? Not real.
So with futures, every month the chart rolls over to a new chart. So my guess is the way it works is all the orders are in the markets, but then after 30 days, all the numbers get readjusted and then the average price gets adjusted. So we get a new chart with new candles and price adjusted a little bit. So I'm pretty sure last week we were like, I don't know, on the chart itself, on the scale, we were down here. But then when the chart shifted, the number scales moved up and then the candles moved up with the numbers. But on the actual scale itself, all of my lines and entries and stuff stayed right down here. So you get a brand new chart. So, or yeah, so see how this shifted? So I guess all the price used to be down here and then it shifted up. So for like, if you have a trade and it rolls over into a new contract, I'm pretty sure it closes your swing trade out. Or you roll over to a new contract and there's like an adjustment fee. Which is the same thing as swaps, but there is no swaps on futures. Futures is pretty much 99% identical, except I have no spreads. I have 1 to 2 spreads at all times. 1 to 2 pip spreads, even during news. There's no swap fees. There's only commission. The commissions are higher. What are we doing here? See what this 15-minute closure looks like. Damn, no top wick on this 5.
Looking bullish. Could it break the highs?
What would this 4-hour stop loss be? 63 pips.
There's an echo coming.
I'm gonna have a buy stop here. My stops will be at the break of these lows here. What do we have until the top of the range here? 30 pips. London high. New York high.
With the 4-hour close as an indecision candle.
Say it again.
Could the 4-hour close as an indecision candle? Or we're expecting volume from Asia?
What's the 4-hour close for you?
In the
It's different on futures. I have, I think, another hour for my 4-hour to close. Maybe 2 hours.
My 4 hours closing within this hourly close. Minute close in 10 minutes. Usually you just enter off the Why today you taking the break on the high?
It depends. My off the rip entry would probably be somewhere down here, closer to the daily tilt, closer to the lows. Yeah, this needed to continue. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I'm looking for.
So if it comes and closes below your indicator line, then
Yeah, that's the VWAP. If we start closing back below there or back into that range, I'm gonna delete that buy stop. Because if we re-break the high here and flip, that's our 15 flipping bullish after a bottom wick. That's our 30-minute re-breaking the high. That's our 4-hour flipping, hourly re-breaking the high. All the time frames bullish. But it has to happen within the next 7 minutes. If not, then we're getting a bearish closure on the 15-minute, respecting this level.
five minutes to the 30 close.
Leading the buy stop. Let's wait for this 30-minute close here. 30. 30 for 30.
How do I delete the doodling?
I had some great entries today. I took a buy here. Then I took another one here.
Nice.
I took a buy here. From here to here.
My last trade was on Monday, NY session.
Nice. So this 30 closes where it's at. It's going to be closing above our hourly resistance. We've already had 30s close above there and do jack shit, but we have already broken those two levels and just barely rejected off that high. We remain above this level here. The rebreak of the high is not bad. Because if this wasn't enough to drive us back down to the bottom of the range, and what we did was instead we came back down, we respected VWAP, this is basically the average order of the day. Every time price came back down to the average order, more people loaded up, people loaded up, people loaded up, people loaded up. Price came back down to the average order. What happened? People loaded up, people loaded up. So on this 30-minute closure, we get a decent bottom wick. Maybe once we tap this area here, flip bullish, we can get some buys. Let's see what it does here. Maybe it starts to come back down in range.
Everybody drop a like and comment and subscribe.
Look at me.
Bomba clap.
I'm the mayor now. Look at me.
Thank you, sir. Look at this. I can't take that rebreak of the high without a bottom wick on that 30, or at least an attempt at a bottom wick. If on the 30-second chart, when this 30-minute opened up, if we would have came down, grabbed the bottom wick, and then flipped bullish, I don't think this is valid enough. We gotta at least attempt a pullback. At least try to come back, make a bottom wick, and then flip bullish, and that'll be interesting. I want as many fake outs as possible, right? What double top or double bottom are we gonna break? Which one? This one or this one? I'm assuming this one is valid now. And this was invalid because we're bullish. But all you can do is wait. Yeah. This is one of those scenarios where you're not gonna get the setup, but the idea is gonna play out. And unfortunately, that's something that I can't fucking take, dude.
Or is it just my dress to create that way?
Yeah, I was looking for a bottom wick to get into that money printer. Yep. And even if it didn't bottom wick for the money printer, if it attempted a bottom wick at that level on the 1 minute and then flipped bullish, I would have taken the rebreak of the high.
Some AD plays. The ADFX. Drop a like.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for showing up, bro. And I know it's late as hell for you, bro. I know it's super late. What time is it for you?
Right now it's 3:34 a.m.
I'd be sleeping. Actually, I'd be awake right now, going to take a bathroom break in the middle of the night and checking the charts real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe this 5 minute can come back down, grab a bottom wick. For a proper self setup to set up, my dog bit me some, dropped some sauce on me, and I've been taking this kind of setup. Where, like, say you have your resistance here, you get a candle that wicks into it without closing above, you get a candle that closes above, your next candle, this is where you would take your next candle, closes back below, and this is where I would get faked out on the rebreak of the high, and then you should have another bearish candle here, and then on the retest of this area here, or this candle that wicked up, whenever you retest that and then flip bearish again, the second it flips bearish, I'd be taking entries here. Instead of taking my buy stop here on the flip like I had earlier, it would be sells once we broke back down into this level.
Yeah, WB hit me some.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, but like the wick into the area is key. Then the closure above is key. Then the closure back below is key. It needs to close back below. So once you faked, you wicked into the area, you closed above, you take your buy setup. This can happen on the 5 minute if you're, or whatever. And then as you start to form structure on the way down, that one candle that wicks up into that area, that's the candle I want to be in for the sells. If it flips back down bearish. If it flips bullish and rebreaks the high, cool. The breakout was valid. But if it doesn't break the highs and then it makes a lower high here and then rebreaks the low, that confirms the fake out.
And the stops at the break of that high.
Yeah. Your stops will technically be even lower. Technically I'm new to that setup, so Like let's say you had your trade here, your closure above, you close back below. Oop. He trades a little bit ICT, so he would be looking for a fair value gap. He would be looking for probably stops like between this candle and this candle as like a fair value gap, or whatever ICT does as a fair value gap. So he would be looking for like a short position like this. Maybe like on the rebreak of like, maybe as this candle's flipping right here, or as this candle closes after wicking up here, once it flips bearish. But yeah, his stops would be something like that. And then he would be looking for at least 50% of the range. So like somewhere down here. So yeah, he would have like a very tiny stop. This is the 5 minute. You're looking at like at a 10-15 pip stop. I don't explain it as well as he does, but if you guys want to check it out, it's on his page, Bit Me Some, on YouTube and on Instagram. And I sent him screenshots, and he's like, dude, we took the exact same trade. Because like that's how I figured out where I was getting faked out on. Oh, this is a similar idea. Let's say you had your level here that you're like, oh, if we close above this level, you didn't close above, you came back above, you closed above, price came down, you wicked back into this previous area, and then on the sells and the rebreak of the low with the stop literally right above here. So you almost had a 1-to-1 there. So this would be kind of the setup. And he would have stop loss like right here. So I mean that is kind of like a 1-to-1 the way ICT people trade. But this has to happen at a key level. Not just like any resistance. It's got to be at a very important level. If not, shit like this can happen where it'll need more liquidity before coming back down. But like, look, this is a good one. Wicked into the area, close above, close back below. This candle came up, wicked into this previous wick on the rebreak of the low. Boom, it dumps because this was a key level.
Yeah, I think his idea would play out better for buys also.
Yeah, it works. It works amazing both ways. So buys, here's the setup right here. We had this is the key level. I wicked into that area without closing below. We closed below. We closed back above. Price came back down, retested this area on the flip bullish. This is where I took my buys. My stop loss was here at the daily break of the low because I'm not too good with that strategy yet. So I keep a little bit more of a conservative stop loss, or a little bit more risky. But yeah, I had a TP right here. I put my phone away, and then when I got back on within a couple of minutes, it smacked my TP.
Nice.
Here, I'll show you guys. It'll probably pop up. So once we had the break above, I had a buy stop here on the flip bullish here on the 5-minute flip. My TP, it hit my TP here. What was this, like 20 pips, 23 pips, 24 pips, 23 pips.
Yeah, I saw it.
So technically my stop loss was here on this low here. Once it activated me, that I saw that we drove up, I moved my stop loss to the lows here. That's one thing I've been doing. Once we start to break, I start to move my stop loss. Like if we were to get activated here, and then price came down, bounced off this level, and then rebroke the highs, my stop loss would have been down here probably. I would have moved it up to here, knowing that once we bounce off this and flip bullish, that has to be the flip.
Yeah. Just scroll back a bit.
Say that again?
Could you scroll back a bit, please? Yeah. So basically, what I got from Bit Me Sam was that he waits for these lows to form, and then once it breaks the lows again, he takes his entry here, and then puts his stop loss somewhere here, and then he catches this range.
Yep, the sweep of a key level, right? So this is your key level. You break down on the key level. Then once you close back above with that specific structure that he's talking about, that's confirming that all of the people that took continuation sells are getting faked out and that you're gonna see a squeeze. And then usually he's like he measures the range out 220 pips, he'll mark up the 50%. Well, he'll drop up his fib or something, and then the 50% mark of the range. This is where either he'll take full profit at, or he'll start to manage risk. Because usually price can probably start to reverse at this level. So if you look here, it just flies right through it. But yeah, he uses the fibs, but I don't use too much. I like to use the VWAP. The VWAP is basically the average orders of the day. So on average, everybody's orders are this level here. So, oh, what does that tell me? That tells me that the majority of the people in the market are in profit right now. And if they're in profit, where is price most likely gonna take? Where are they gonna? Where's their TP at? Probably their TP is probably gonna be at some major higher time frame levels. So I'll be looking at some higher time frame levels. Say, oh, maybe their TP's here, and I start looking at some higher time frame levels and say, okay, cool. They're obviously not gonna want to close break even on the day. They've been running at a loss all morning, and they're pretty much break even now for the remaining of the day, moving into Asian session. I'm assuming they want to make some money. So before coming back down, I would assume we would grab more orders up here, which is why I'm looking for the buys. Knowing that, hey, these guys are in profit right now, where do they want to take profit at? Probably somewhere on these higher time frame levels. So how can I take buys to where they're gonna sell at? We grabbed orders at the bottom wick and we start flipping bullish here. This 15-minute just closed. Back below the range. Wow.
3394.0.
I'm gonna go get my nose strips. I'll be right back.
How do I move these things? Everybody drop a like. "15 minutes to the 4-hour closing gold spot." Wow. Okay, 4-hour almost re-breaking the highs.
What does spot gold chart look like?
50-minute, we broke the 4-hour highs. We'll keep pushing.
See what it does here. See what this next 5 minute looks like. I'm interested in buys. Very interested.
It'll just be a straight push towards 34. 34. Oh, goodness. My 15-minute already broke the highs. And it's already pushing.
I'm gonna have a buy stop here on the re-break of the daily high. I'm looking for it to target the New York high before coming back down. I think we're Gucci here.
Gucci made. Activated.
Yeah, I have no spreads, so for me, oh, there we go. Activated.
Full TP 33, 34.68.
We're almost at my break-even point. Oh, that just tapped my B. I'm gonna close half my position at 15. I'll let the rest rock. I was going to stack on this entry and add 4 positions instead of 2. Or sorry, 4 contracts instead of 2. But it is what it is.
That's funny because I added 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, I was going to because I was like, all right, it's either this 4-hour flips or it flips bullish. If this 4-hour flips bearish, it's gone. I wasn't gonna give myself more room like I usually do. But I see 20 there. I want to see us tap into this New York high. If we tap into this New York high, I'm gonna move my stops up 20 pips. I don't mind losing out on 20 pips on half the entry. I'll be alright. Patience. Let's hope it stays up because with the 9 o'clock open, we're gonna get a. What the fuck was that? I just heard some noise downstairs. Yo.
Bring out the Glocky. My dad just took his Glock and went out there. I
Again, can manage risk however you want.
Never move
Stops B, have a closed full. I closed full at almost 18 pips. So doubling the shit.
Damn, that shit took me out.
That shit took Eddie out. We insecure. Doubling the shit.
My guy just pulled out the barrier.
I did.
Gotta go check. The Jeep is fine. Ain't missing a tire. And I secured like this.
I only used the little one. I used the little one. This is the big one.
Nah, man, don't pull it out.
They'll get banned again.
Nah. All my gun content has the most views. YouTube loves guns.
YouTube, this is a water gun.
And then
With water.
I have the little one. The handheld.
It's a dart gun.
In quotes.
Damn, this trade had to be managed quickly, and that's why I was looking for a really good break-even point.
Yeah, you secured.
Nice. All right, drawings are gone. So we have done some Fugazi. We're now flipping bearish back into range. Let's see what this hourly does. Are we going to close bearish back into range on this hourly? Or are we going to close above all of these hourly resistances, come down on the next hourly, and then flip bullish, and we can ride the wave up? What up, Jonathan? How are you, bro? Or is it just gonna take me out to then drive? What up, Chris? You just missed it. We caught a dub. So this is something that I was talking about with Wix yesterday, on stream and on Sunday session, where moving stops was probably the better option, right? So let's say price drives here, right? 24 pips. I secured half at 24 pips. Move my stop ups down here to 28 pips. If price breaks this low, we're wrong, it's gonna dump. I secured 20 something pips. I lost 20 something pips, basically a break even trade. But if it is gonna drive, we're going to respect this low. Price is gonna come back up, re-break the high, and continue driving, and then I can close the other half for like 40 or 50 pips and hold longer on the other half instead of closing it at 20. But I secured at 20, move my stops up to 20, so that way it's a break even trade, just in case. And that's just something like for like the other day when he took sells. Where was it? I don't even know. Was it here? I don't even know where he took those sells. Where he took a sell, price stopped him out break even, and then within the next two candles it dumps like 50 pips. Oh, it's cold where you're at? Right now in my room it's like 76 degrees, 77. I like it at 77 with low humidity.
cold, man. My nose is just running.
What temperature is it over there? 77 is probably like 25 Celsius, 23 Celsius. No, maybe like 21 Celsius. Because 23 is hot for you, right?
Yeah, that's like a summer day.
Yeah, so no, I am maybe like 10 degrees under a summer, 20 degrees under a summer day inside my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, my electric bill is expensive though. 150 bucks a month to keep it this cold. But it's worth it, bro. I work in the heat, bro. I fix and sell air conditioners. So usually when I'm there in the daytime, it's hot. And then I make a sale and I go back to my truck. But then when I go home after a couple of appointments, that ice cold air when you walk in, where it just feels like a refrigerator. But I love that feeling going inside my house. I love going in and then it just feels freezing.
Freezing cold. Some cool air. I think here only the coast have AC. Everywhere else, nobody has it.
Here, if you don't have air conditioner, you're not surviving. You're gonna die. It's literally like that. If you don't have it, you're gonna die.
Life or death.
One day without air conditioning, and it's around probably like 25 in your house. And you're like, oh, just open up a window, and then you get the hot, humid air from outside and all the mosquitoes coming in. Look at this dump.
So,
Hourly closed above, hourly is coming down, hourly grabbed orders at the previous hourly bottom, and the hourly might be flipping. I'm gonna have a buy stop here. If this hourly flips bullish, we're in. I'm looking at the break of these lows. The 4-hour low for 59 pips.
already opened up with the bottom here.
Yeah, this is the money printer on the 15, the money printer on the hourly, the 9 o'clock open. See what it do here. Whoa.
Like old here, like 17, 18.
Oh, that's right. This is the 4-hour open for spot.
Yeah, 4-hour open. Like the bottom way. Tiny top way.
I'm not expecting too steep of a pullback past these levels here.
You expect a break of the highs, back up the TP.
Yeah, I expect a massive push up straight to the break of the highs. Same thing that happened earlier. What was it, like around? I got into some buys. At around 9 in the morning. I got into some buys here. No, here. Sat through this drawdown and then took off. What a trade. And that's crazy. Stops aren't too bad here. Whoa.
Going on.
The market just told everybody, wipe the skid marks out of your butthole. Go change your underwear. That's what the market just said. Go change your underwear. Everybody go change them. Go change them because I'm about to make you shit your pants again.
Just leg in their ass and beat it up till it scrambled eggs.
That's exactly what the market just did. It told everybody, I know you just shit yourself. Go change your underwear, please. Damn, I gotta grease my chair. You guys hear it squeak? That must be annoying, bro.
Spinal adjustment.
This is actually one of the most comfortable chairs I've ever had. And my mom got it off of Temu.
Which make is it?
Hey, Junior
Activated.
0707, thank you for the follow, my brother. Oh yeah, bro, when something from Temu turns out to be good quality, you're like, ah shit, good thing I didn't buy the good one. Nah, I don't like to spend money on stupid stuff. People were like, oh, the chair, you sit in it every day, you should spend really good money on a chair. Well, bro, my back's never hurt sitting on this chair and it was 60 bucks. So how are you going to convince me to go spend $300 on a chair?
Don't make no sense.
On Black Friday, I don't know if you guys shop Black Friday, but it's a big thing here in the States. This $200 ergonomic lounging computer chair usually goes on sale for 50% off, and you can get it for like 90 bucks. So that's the only one I would actually get. Market Mechanic recommended that chair to me. And it has like a little lumbar support for your lower back. And it just has all the little extra things that you would want just to make sure your back is Gucci. 100 is a good price. You don't want to spend money on shit that you don't need unless you can buy it 10 times over. If you can buy it 10 times over, 100 times over, depends how small it is. But if you can buy it 100 times over, anything under $100, you're like, all right, I can buy this useless thing. Yeah, but in real life, it's all about capital preservation. Preserve your capital. I'm going to move my stops to this hourly low. Now that we've already attempted to re-break, we broke the hourly high once again. I think that we should come up here. I moved my TP a little lower too. I don't see why we should break this low. Oh yeah, bro. So my boy bought a $2,000 drone. And after seeing that, I'm like, damn, I've always wanted like a really, really good drone. Usually, I'm a cheapskate, so I buy these little cheap toy drones and I take them apart, I mod them, I make them better, and I play around with them and I make them better, but they're cheap ones. I need an actual real drone with GPS and cellular that I can actually fly a mile or two away, take professional pictures and shit, to have a good one. And I was like, you know what, let me go on Facebook Marketplace, because that's where I get a lot of the nice shit that I have. There a lot of people buy things out of impulse. And then later on in the future, they need money. So they end up selling what they bought out of an impulse for a lower price. Because they actually need the money. So usually I go on the Facebook Marketplace and I look for things that have been there for a little while. Look for somebody that puts it at a price that is crazy, because they're the type of person that they're probably like, oh, let me put it at a crazy price just so whoever offers it to me gives me higher than what I really need. Those are people I usually don't know. When something is priced perfectly, that's a person that knows what they're doing, and they're not going to budge on the price. But you see like an outrageous price, you're like, all right, that's the person I can go negotiate with. I have a MacBook M2, brand new. Well, not brand new, it was brand new last year's model, 2024. Still has warranty until the end of this year. The guy bought it brand new. He realized it wasn't strong enough for what he needed. So after like a few months, he decided to sell it. So I bought it maybe 3 months used, and when I bought it, it still had a year and 9 months of warranty left. And I still have until the end of this year 6 more months of warranty left on the MacBook. M2, the $600 one, he sold it to me for $300.
And it didn't have any defects.
Nothing. It was brand new. It was only 3 months old. So I was like, damn, in 3 months, what can possibly go wrong? And it has a warranty on it. So if something is really wrong, I can just go take it to the Apple store, pay their service fee, and then I have a brand new M2 that I just took to Apple to service under warranty. So that's what I figured. Worst case, I'm getting it for half price. If they charge me, even if they charge me $300 to fix anything under warranty, that's still less than what it is brand new.
Gold hunting.
Yeah, both my monitors I got off there. Because I was like, damn, I'm going to stream and I want to start doing this shit. So I don't want to spend a shit ton of money. And then if I end up not streaming anymore, I spent all this money on a setup that I don't need. Because I was trading perfectly fine off of a laptop and an extra monitor attached to the laptop. I was like, all right, worst case, I can sell all my shit and break even. Or even in real life, you got to think of preserving your capital, bro. See how this is toying with us? I don't want to be in this trade anymore. If this hourly re-breaks that low, that's gone. It re-broke the high 3 times and it should have drove up already. So that's why I moved my stops up. If it re-breaks that low, it's gone. Or it might just re-break that low and come back up and flip. But in that case, I probably won't take a re-entry until it re-breaks the daily high. But once it re-breaks the daily high, we're super close to New York's high. And if you take out New York's high, the possibility of it rejecting is pretty high. I thought that said 9 ticks in profit. I was like, what? That's at break even. How the fuck does it say 9? But my eyes are just dumb as shit. If you like pina coladas, getting lost in a rain. If all the charts are different and shit's fucking around, that's probably why this isn't moving. I'm just looking for a quick little 10 pip pop so I can go break even and probably call it, to be honest.
There you go.
I think that gave me like 4. Is that the 1 minute? Yep, there's my break even.
Let's see. Maybe this 15-minute will push up without a bottom wick.
I'm just gonna close it there at 14 pips. Fuck it. And we're gonna call it a night there. That was half closure at 14 on the last trade, so that's 7 in reality. And that's 14 on this one. 21 pips for the session. Let it drive. This annoyed me, but the risk management was on point.
You like that trade? Everybody drop a like.
Yes, sir. Drop a like, everybody. If you like the trade, if you like the risk management. This was just self-explanatory all the way through, man. It was just... This is the exact setup I took all day today, the exact way I managed risk all day today. During New York, though, these pops, instead of being like 15 pips, they're like 20 or 30. But, yep, I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna go eat some food and go to sleep. Alright, that tapped the break-even point. Solid trade.
So solid.
Take it easy, everybody. Have a good night, brother. I appreciate you for showing up, bro. Thank you. Peace.